Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 95 today and we are back midway through our pre-season with Tottenham. Now you'll know, and as the title gives away of course, that this can only mean one thing. We have not a job offer, but two job offers. Different clubs, similar situations, and we're going to choose which one's best for us. So if you're looking forward to that and finding out who they are, seeing which club we join and getting an introduction to their squad and their staff as always, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from two long-term stories. It's the start of the 11th season, of course. We had a bookmark episode last time marking 10 years of the save, and there's a link to the entire playlist in the eye above, as well as all of our other main stories and the new food channel trailer as well. And you can catch up with the Twitch channel in the description below where we have regular live streams from FM21. But a massive thank you for your support as always, as we are back with two big job offers. We said we'd probably leave Tottenham this summer because we've won all the four major trophies. There's nothing we can do other than trying to have sustained success. And let's be honest, that's not the remit of a head coach. We want to get as big as possible and win as much as possible in a short period of time. So let's try and find out where our next job offers can be. Now, we had one job offer last week. We delayed it to wait to see if we got a second one. And we've got that one today. So let's go and have a look at our inbox to see which job offer we have at the moment. And it doesn't get much bigger. It's the job we said we might have wanted last summer. It didn't come up, but it has now. The job is Spanish giants Real Madrid. 155 grand a week. £176 million of transfer budget. 6 million of wage budget. And plenty of club vision objectives as well, including remaining the biggest team in the world. That's the sort of thing that makes you think, oh, this could be a big job. So Real Madrid have got what I would say is the best team of any side in the world. Now, what makes this job more interesting is the fact that they've had 3 years without winning a title. They won it again this season, you can see. They won it at a canter as well, mainly because of a very poor Barcelona and Atletico Madrid side who had won it the 2 years previous. But equally, they had 3 years before where they didn't just not win it. In 2 of those seasons they finished third, in 1 of them they finished second. And if you have a look at the competition screen, they've not won the Champions League for 7 years and they've only reached 1 final. In terms of the Spanish Cup, they've only won it once in 16 years, that was 2 years ago. And the Spanish Super Cup, they've only won 2 times in the last 9 years. So they've not really been that dominant force despite having the best team. And even when they won that title, they've only actually won 2 in the entirety of this save. The last one prior to that was the 1920 season under Zidane, the pandemic year. So it really is a bit of a challenge to get this side to be the elite team they should be. Yes, Barcelona are a good team. Yes, Atletico the same. And they'll probably have big regenerations this summer. But this Real Madrid side should be massive. So that's a really tempting job offer. But it's not the only one. We said there were 2 big job offers. I've decided which one I'm going to take. But I think we have to have a look at both of them in good detail, don't we? So let's go back and look at the one we delayed a few days ago. Bayern Munich have also come in for us. Now, I've made no secret of it on the channel, in live streams, in videos, whatever. The Bundesliga is one of my favourite leagues to watch. I'm a big fan of it. Let's have a look, though, at the job offer we've received from them. It wasn't quite as much money. We do need to admit that, because that's something that's important in this save. And again, it's a club that had 3 years without winning a title and then regained their trophy last year. The difference with Bayern Munich, I feel, though, is that prior to that, they'd been utterly dominant and won it sort of 15 years in a row. If we go and have a look at the history in terms of competitions, they haven't won the Champions League for 10 years, fair enough. But they've won the Europa League twice, they've won the European Super Cup, they've won 5 German Cups and 5 German Super Cups. So it's not like they've been struggling for trophies and dominance. Now, both of them would have been unbelievable jobs. But Bayern Munich, I just feel they've been a bit more dominant and it would be a bit easier to dominate with them moving forward. There's not quite as many giant clubs here. And albeit Leipzig and Dortmund have won it in previous seasons, let's go and have a look at last year's table. It was very close. Bayern 68 points, Dortmund 68 points, Hertha Berlin 66 points. Now, the other thing that tempted me, as we saw in the 10-year review, is that Dortmund do have this player who is, without doubt, one of the very best in the world. And if we go and have a look at their squads, they are still pretty good. But prior to that league win 2 years ago, They've not even really been up there. Now with Tottenham, we actually found them quite easy to beat in the Champions League semi-final. They are a very good team, but I don't think they're exceptional, and I don't think they're going to be able to compete regularly moving forward. So for that reason, I think the Real Madrid job just edges it. Now, I might get some pelters for that because I prefer the Bundesliga. Generally, I would normally say Bundesliga over La Liga. But I just feel in terms of the challenge, in terms of how much the clubs have succeeded against their strength in the last 10 years, that Real Madrid is the job we can make more of a difference in. And then after that, what's to say the Bayern or the Dortmund job won't come up again and we can go and move to Germany as well. I'd love to win all three. It would be an incredible achievement. I could be the Pep Guardiola of my generation. But let's go to the Real Madrid job offer. It is the one I've decided to take. Bayern Munich had some wonderful players, but Real Madrid's I'd argue are better. And what I don't understand is why for 3 years they struggled to win the title. Why they haven't been winning the other competitions. Why they've only won one Copa del Rey. I don't get it. We have to try and make it a clean sweep in our first couple of seasons and see if we can get trophies on the board, because anything other than winning a league here is a failure. And we get sacked for the first time in our career. So that could be interesting too. But let's have a look at this offer. We've got 155,000 a week. We've got to maintain the best youth system in the world. We've got to win the league. We've got to spend the original transfer budget. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Spend as much of the transfer budget made available at the start of the season as possible. So if there isn't a director of football there already, whichever one comes in needs to be spending big time. The reputation is important to the club. They want to keep that money. They want to keep that commercial value. So let's go and start the negotiations. We're going to edge up to 160,000. I don't think they're going to take it though. They don't want to edge up, do they? No, we're going to have to stick with 155. A brilliant job offer. An increase by 40 grand a week to our wage as well. That will cover the costs of going out to Spain. We can get a nice villa over there and hopefully we'll be able to enjoy success with Real Madrid. So there's the job offer. They're the two big opportunities we had. Have we chosen right? Let me know what you think in the comments below. We'll be back in a moment for our first day at Real Madrid, where we're going to meet the squad, the staff, and see what we expect for the season. Here we go then. Our first day in the job after rejecting Bayern Munich for Real Madrid. Tottenham will be paid £20 million in compensation, which I think will soften the blow of us leaving slightly. But we've got to try and earn that title success. And I really want to win a Copa del Rey. I want to know why they haven't been winning it. We'll of course go for the Champions League too. That's going to be massive. The man who started at Brechin 10 years ago is now living it up at Real Madrid. No director of football. Still at the burnabout. Everything else is state of the art, as you would expect. Last year, knocked out in the Champions League. Knocked out in the Super Cup semi-final. Knocked out in the Spanish Cup 5th round. So things haven't been going to plan. But for people here of a certain generation, my assistant manager is an absolute hero. Probably could have been one of the greatest players ever if it wasn't for having to retire early due to injury problems. Marco van Basten has scored his fair share of decent goals, hasn't he? He's not actually the greatest coach or manager, but he's got good attributes, he's a legend of the game, and he's been here for 10 years, so he knows the players inside out and will be reliant on him. The media prediction's actually second. So this is giving us an even bigger problem. We're not expected to win the league. I wonder who it is. Is it Atletico, our rivals, or is it Barcelona? Either way, they're going to be having a big regeneration this summer after their failures last year. 4-2-3-1 recommended. We're happy with that. We've done it with Tottenham Hotspur. Next up, we know all about the club vision and culture items. So let's just get through to the first day of the job. Ongoing negotiations. There's a scout going to Liverpool apparently. But let's have a look at our staff. We haven't got a director of football. We've got Marco van Basten as a number 2. And there are a lot of staff that must have gone because there's a huge amount of spaces in this team. The club is Spanish owned at the moment by the looks of it. And our staff is largely a mix of Spaniards with the odd Frenchman as well. So let's get them in job role order. We've met our assistant manager. The next most important man without a director of football is head of youth development. That man is Alfredo Marino. He's really not very good. Why are the staff so poor? Marino, 10 for judging ability, 12 for player potential. Not a great coach. Not good at motivating people. Not the best man manager. Not that adaptable. That's odd. He's been here 13 years. He's still going. I'm not a massive fan of his attributes. I don't think it's as good as Real Madrid could do. Let's put it that way. In terms of coaches, there's one name that stands out here, isn't there? Cristiano Ronaldo, senior squad coach. Again, he's good, but he's not spectacular. He's a perfectionist, he's determined, he's a good motivator, he's a decent coach. But he's certainly not setting the world alight. Of course, though, he's a legend of the club, so he was always going to be invited back. No doubts about that. I'm just looking out for any other former legends, but I can't see any on the face of it. Let me know if I'm wrong, of course. As we move down towards the scouts, who is our chief scout? Juni Calafat. He is a Brazilian. Been there 17 years. That's more like it. Excellent attributes, average personality, but otherwise exceptional. Big reputation. That's what we wanted to see. And again, I don't recognise many of the other names. I was just checking who that Paulinho was, in case it was the one who'd been at Barca, but it's not the case. It's interesting. I'm actually a little underwhelmed, having looked at the staff now. So let me know what you think of that, as we move on to the bit that you want to see. It's the squad. We're going to go through the youth teams first, just to see if there's any superstars. So the under-19s, the best player is 2-star ability. But there is this 15-year-old who's got 5-star potential. Samu Zamorano. It's a Spanish youngster. It's a striker who can't really finish, but technically, as a deep line forward, something like that is incredible. And he's got the model citizen personality. So a future skipper in waiting there, I think. Carlos Lucio is a fullback. 18 years of age, a Spaniard capped at under 20 level. He looks very good as well and has 5-star potential. What about the B team? Any stars there? A couple of players with 2.5-star ability. One of them's a goalkeeper, who looks like he should be the third choice keeper. Jesus Manuel is a 21-year-old Spanish youth international. He's pretty average, I'd say. And then Juan Manuel Gomez is a 20-year-old wonder kid. He's a bit more like it. If he reaches his 4-star potential, he'll be a superstar, but not the most determined. A little bit of a light-hearted personality, not that dedicated professional, and maybe that's where he'll fall back a little bit. There's a goalkeeper with exceptional potential in there as well. Looks a good young Belgian, but considering I've had a 20-year-old Loic Willems, who looks very different to that, it's always going to be underwhelming as a result, isn't it? So, what if we could sign Loic Willems here? That would be incredible. Director of football, whoever you are, make it happen. If we have a look at the squad, though, the first team, I don't think any of those youngsters are going to be denting it. Let's get them in order of reports and see what we've got. So, 3 goalkeepers at the club, but not for long. Thibaut Courtois is retiring in 2 weeks. Which is a shame because he's still got it. Yes, the agility's gone, but everything else is still there. So it'll be sad to lose him. Nearly 200 caps for Belgium as well. Unai Simon will be the best goalkeeper left. He is a Spanish international at 33. He's good, but not quite the world-class keeper we'd expect. So potentially goalkeeper, an area of weakness already. There's a 2-star one who's just there as a squad player. If we go into defence though, we've got a 4-star right back twice. But Eder Militao's a real player, and I'm sure he's a centre-half. So hopefully that's just a weird positional choice by the assistant report. Oliveira is the other one, though. 23 years of age, Brazilian international, 4-star ability, 4.5 potential. Excellent player. Brilliant physically, really solid mentally, and he's good going forward as well. Exactly what we wanted. 65 appearances for the club already, and he's a superstar in waiting. I'm a bit worried he only played 15 games last year. Has he had injury problems? He has. He had a 2-month injury there, 4 weeks there, 3 weeks there. So let's hope that's not one that reoccurs, because otherwise we could be in a spot of bother with him. The other one, though, is Eder Militao. 4-star ability at 32 years of age. He is a centre-half as well. Brazilian international, got all the quality to play there. Elite centre-back is his media description, and that's where he's going to play for us. The other one is a 24-year-old 3-star fullback, Tarashki. He is also a natural centre-half and a natural right-back. Italian international, just a good player. Just a slightly less good version of the other two, basically. So a good squad addition for sure. Into centre-half, familiar name in Fikayo Tomori. 3-star ability, 3-star potential. Good ball playing defender, probably slightly past his peak. But 50 international caps, a very good defender. We'll have no problem working with him, even if it is as a squad player. Luca Evangelista. We saw him in the last episode when we were looking at Italy, the World Cup winners. 5-star ability, 5-star potential. One of the best centre-halves in the world. It's him or Zaravakos, isn't it? But what a player, what a servant he's been. At 23, he's played for Inter, and now he's played for Real Madrid. He is a superstar. We can't wait to work with him. Joseba Hernandez is the next one. 2.5 ability, 3-star potential. Actually looks quite good. I think he's better than 2.5 star, isn't he? I would argue he's as good as Tomori. Either way, he's 22 years old. He's not come through the academy, but he's been here 3 years now, so might have just made it as homegrown at the club. It's hard to tell based on his age of birth being February. But either way, a very good player, and I'm sure will contribute to the squad for a fairly modest wage as well. Then at left back, we've got someone who sounds very English in Tony Clayton. Let's have a little look at him. He is English. He's a 24-year-old. He's never played for England, so I'm guessing he's behind Aaron Smith, because he doesn't look as good as him. Mentally, he's exceptional. He's a good defender again, but not the best going forward. But either way, he's played a lot of games for this club. He's played for Arsenal before. He's played for Blackburn before. He's a good footballer. Tony Clayton is someone who's going to be involved for us. Now, I'm a bit worried about the lack of depth at left back, but I can see further down here Alphonso Davies. Now, he's at Bayern in real life, and he is a left back, so let's have a look at him. He's a left back here as well. 3-star ability, 3-star potential, 116 caps for Canada, nearly on 200 grand a week. He's a superstar. Played for Bayern, United, Real Madrid. That's the sign of a decent pro. Into midfield, we've still got 4 5-star players to go. Let's get through some of the others first though. Rodrigo Bentancur is 33 years of age. He's been at Juventus, went to Real Madrid and has now been here 9 years. Just past his peak, but still world class, still a consummate pro. And he's going to be a really good squad player too. Manuel Locatelli, 32 years of age, 3.5-star ability. Not quite as good physically now, but still very good. And another one I'd be very happy to have as part of the squad. Vitor Ferreira, 30 years of age, 4-star ability Portuguese midfielder. Won the last Euros for them, has played for Liverpool, Porto and now Real Madrid. He's an exceptional playmaker, he's very good on the ball. You can already see in terms of depth the difference in quality here. It's a really good side. Only the goalkeeper and the left back's weaker. Everywhere else there's so much quality. The rest of midfield though, we've got the best one coming up. So let's leave him for a minute. We're going to go through Juan Antonio Galvez first. 3-star ability centre mid. He has come through at Real Madrid, had loan spells at Hamburg and Monaco. But he looks a good player now. Another perfectionist, a solid squad player. And again, for a relatively modest wage, fills a void. Particularly for those cup games, those league games we expect to win. And even just as a substitute. He's a very good one. Romaric Kobanan is the man we're looking at though. 23 years of age, 5-star ability, 5-star potential. If he's as good as the centre-half was, we'll be happy. He is as good as the centre-half was. What a player. Natural in the number 10 as well. 47 caps for France, a star for Real Madrid, has played for Bordeaux, Montpellier and for Arsenal already. He is something else. I'm sure I recognise the name. He must have played against us with Arsenal. But what an addition he was last year. He's got an average rating of nearly 8 across the competitions. Let's move on to the wide areas and attacking midfield. Adrian Molina is a 4-star ability left midfielder. 20 years of age. He's not a left winger at all. He's a striker. He's a wonder kid. He's brilliant mentally and physically. Not the best finisher in the world, but everything else good. It says he's an advanced forward, but he strikes me as more of a deep lying one who goes in and then lays the ball through. But either way, what a youngster he is. He'll be involved in the squad, that's for certain. Matthew Laus, he's an attacking right winger from Australia. Scoring at 1 and 2 at international level. Physically is monstrous. I mean, between 16 and 19 for virtually everything that matters. Very good technically in the key areas, albeit not overall. And works hard, determined, driven character. What a player. Been at Borussia Dortmund prior to this. And he looks a superstar. He'll be involved as well. Now the thing that worries me is there's 2 players marked as right wingers with 5-star ability. Laus we've already seen can't play anywhere else, so let's have a look at Cesar Fernandez. Now he's a number 10, so that makes more sense. And he's unbelievable as well. 19 caps for Spain at 21 years of age. Signed from Villarreal 2 years ago, where you can understand he was a superstar. And he scored 16 in 35 this season at Real Madrid. What a player. I mean, look at that midfield. We were excited by Reina and Wright when we were at Tottenham. We've now got Fernandez and Kobanan. That is just about 2 of the best centre midfielders in the world. To have then Laus on the right wing is ridiculous. Have we got anyone that can play off the left? That's the next question. The number 10 is the next man, who's got 4-star ability, 23-year-old Jose Fernandez, and he's a natural left winger. It's all panning out perfectly. Again, a very creative force, exceptional first touch, really strong mentally actually, rather than anything else. He's come from Hoffenheim on loan. He's been at Real Madrid his whole career aside from that though. He's a superstar too. 11 goals and 9 assists this season. I'm getting very excited about this side. Jacobo is transfer listed. He is 24 years of age. 2.5 ability, 3-star potential. Very good, but I understand not quite the same quality. The one reservation I do have with him is surely we can keep him as a backup number 10. He's homegrown at the club. He'd be involved in a Champions League squad as essentially a free player there. So I'd like to see him stay, but we're not going to be in charge of that. It's the head coach. We have no say in transfers, contracts or staffing. So that's entirely up to whoever becomes director of football. Federico Chiesa, always a star in this game. 3-star ability now at 32. Natural wing back, natural winger. He's good, but he's over the hill. I think that's a fair comment. He's played for some of the biggest clubs in the world. Fiorentina, Juventus, Arsenal, now Real Madrid. Bit of a weird signing considering it was only last summer. But he's not going to be involved much for us, I don't think. Facundo Pellistri, young Manchester United player. He's had loan stints at Sheffield United and now been here for a few years. He's a squad player. Again, he's okay, but he's not going to set the world alight. 3.5-star ability, and I'm saying, we could do without him. That's how good this squad is. And then we get on to 2 strikers. Now, we've already met one who was disguised as a left winger, and we've got our last 5-star player there who I've already seen before and know is brilliant. But first up is Lautaro Martinez, a very well-known player, Argentinian, currently at Inter Milan. He's been at Real Madrid for 9 years and scored 109 in 211. Used more of a substitute these days, but a fantastic player still. Again, mentally exceptional. A great finisher, a good first touch and a good passer of the ball. Not the best physically, but that might be just because he's 32. But otherwise, he's still going to be a great squad asset for us. We've got so many world-class players here. It's so different to any club we've been at before. And the last one should be just about best of the lot. Maybe not as good as Canella, who we looked at from Dortmund in the Italian team, but Dave Klaassen is not far behind. 24 years of age, 5-star ability, 5-star potential. Put him in absolutely any position you want. 27 goals in 35 league appearances this season. 7 years at AZ Alkmaar, scoring over 1 in 2. He can play in any centre-forward role. He scored nearly 50 goals in 60 appearances for Holland. And he's a superstar. What a player, what a talisman. I cannot wait to work with that guy. That team is exceptional. If they sign 1 left back and 1 goalkeeper of any quality, this team could be world beaters. And I'm very much looking forward to being part of it. So let me know what you think of the squad. Do you think we've made the right decision now? Do you think we can start to compete in the Champions League and the Spanish Cup where Real Madrid have struggled for so long? I certainly think we can. We're just 1 or 2 away. We'll wait and see who our director of football is and whether he can do the trick. But a wonderful move. The fact we're here after 10 years just speaks volumes for how much we've succeeded. But don't forget, if we don't win the title this year, we're going to be in big trouble because we could be on for our first sacking of the save. So if you want to see how we get on this season, we can't even show you what the first scheduled game is because unfortunately they haven't been drawn yet. Then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We'll be back for the first game, hopefully some transfer news with a new director of football to meet as well. And if you want to stay up to date for that and make sure you don't miss a beat, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM21 content. Please do check out the new playlist and all the other stuff across the channel in the eye above, as well as the trailer for my food channel which came out around a week ago. That's up there as well. Follow me on Twitch down in the description to make sure you stay up to date with regular live streams too. And I'll see you next time for our first game in charge at Real Madrid. Hopefully a great director of football, a couple of gaps in the squad being plugged, and we'll be ready to try and dominate Europe. I'll see you next time to find out if we can do it.